All right, this is Rational Boomer Extra. It'll be shorter than normal Rational Boomer podcast, and it will be in addition to other Rational Boomer podcast. And we're just going to deal with some of the emails. It's been a while since I've read emails, and I need to catch up on them. So that's what we're going to do here in this extra. We got a lot of shit going on in this country. We've got Elon Musk locking himself down in the Department of Education. This is troublesome. I said in a TikTok earlier today that we've got a lot of problems in this country. And if we think we can fix all of them at one time, it's going to become insurmountable. We have to focus on our biggest problem. And in my mind, our biggest problem, the greatest danger to this country, the most dangerous person in this country is Elon Musk. He's got $400 billion, doesn't give a fuck about anybody but himself. And Donald Trump has given him free reign to do whatever the fuck he wants. We have to deal with Donald Trump and the Republicans. There's no question about that. But Elon is our biggest problem right now. You would hope the DOJ or Homeland Security would fight against the crimes he's committing against this country, but they won't because Donald Trump has directed Elon Musk to do this, and Donald Trump controls the DOJ and Congress, essentially. So that's going to be left to us. And what can we do? Some people would suggest there's nothing we can do. The sky is falling, and that's bullshit. These are bullies, and they want us to be afraid. The moment you become afraid, they win. I ain't letting them fucking win. We can do some things with Elon Musk. Elon Musk has some problems with Donald Trump, too. This new Time magazine thing that's come out showing him in a suit sitting behind the Resolute desk in the Oval Office. That's going to cause some problems between Donald Trump and Elon Musk. But for us, we need to try to cripple him financially. We already know Tesla sales have dropped like a rock all over the world. X is having its share of problems with people exiling themselves off the platform. We need to do whatever we can to cripple him financially. But over and above that, we also need to cancel that motherfucker. We know how they hate being canceled. There's a lot of bad shit about Elon Musk that we need to throw into the ether every motherfucking day. We need to try to cancel this guy, break up the bro relationship he has with Donald Trump, separate him out, and then maybe he would be susceptible to being convicted of some of his crimes. Keep in mind, he's Donald Trump's buddy now, but if Donald Trump starts to hate him, and it doesn't take much to do something like that, then Donald Trump will be going after Elon Musk. So let's keep our fingers crossed and see if we can't try to accomplish something like that by constantly throwing him into the narrative about his negativity, how he's usurping Donald Trump. All of this will work against Elon Musk, and it's something we must do. All right, let's get to some of the emails that I haven't done for a while. This one comes from Bruce. He says, I've been so inspired by your posts on TikTok. Please continue doing them and your podcast. In these dire times, you've given me and my husband a glimmer of hope. Thanks again. Well, I appreciate that. And I don't like doing emails where I'm self-aggrandizing myself. That's not what this is about. This is about hopefully some inspiration, but it's not just me giving the inspiration. There are a lot of people that participate in this show, the regular guests, the live guests, and of course the email writers too. They all have some part of whatever inspiration this podcast can bring. So thank you very much for that. Now this is something. Somebody sent me a letter that they got from their son. It says, receive this from my son, Bill, who is a 20-year employee of GAO, U.S. government, who received the letter wanting an early retirement, and Trump demands his answer by Friday next. He said that he will send it to you also. I see it as an alarm as the extent of the USA government took over, and in time for action is now. Thanks. Bob from Ecuador, formerly of Kansas. And we know about those letters. There was a judge that put all of that on hold. Whether that will stick or that will stop anything, I'm not sure. But I know a lot of folks in the military and in federal government are getting those notes. And it's important to understand that those notes are illegal. But as I've said before, if there's nobody to enforce them and hold them accountable, is it really illegal? And then you have to wonder, do we even have rule of law in this country? I would say largely no, as long as you're a Republican or as long as you're tied to Donald Trump. Everybody else is susceptible to rule of law except them. We have to fix this. We have to push back. We're in a bad situation right now, but hope is not lost. It's never lost. All right, the next one says, Mike, I don't know if you follow The Hill. Wanted to be sure you saw this article. And it was basically an article about some of the actions Donald Trump has done. This emailer also said, also wanted to mention that Ed was on your show last night and his insights were on target. The way he reminded us the Civil War, or rather the people who lost the Civil War, went underground. Their beliefs and drive to bring back what they lost has not gone away. You're absolutely right. And so was Ed. I sincerely believe that this, along with the Heritage Foundation's strong push to implement their Project 2025, are what is driving Trump and his behavior and his cronies behind him to push for changes while he provides a lot of distractions. Judy, crazy cat mama, Portland. Thank you, Judy. Next up, it says, Mike, I just heard you say DJT will not run again. I have some bad news for you here. There is a move underway right now to allow him to run again. Charles. All right, Charles. I've told people this before, and I'm going to tell you again, Charles. Here's the deal. Just because Donald Trump says something, why do you believe him? Or if the Republicans say something, why do you believe them? Donald Trump is a pathological liar. You shouldn't listen to anything he fucking says. And while somebody wants to put up a bill so Donald Trump can run again, that's not a foregone conclusion that he's absolutely going to be able to run again. You have to fucking amend the Constitution in order for that to happen. So, Charles, you may be sorry that somebody's already started to do this, but you're giving them way too much fucking credit. It's not going to happen. They aren't going to be able to amend the Constitution. Fuck, they haven't even put up a single bill yet. Time is running out every day. I know they've got, almost 4 years, but they waste time. They talk a lot of shit and they don't do anything because they have no basis to get it done. Just because some dumb fuck puts up a bill to make Donald Trump possibly run for a third term, that doesn't mean it even reaches the floor. And if it does, it certainly would not pass. So stop believing what the bad guys tell you. That's what they fucking want. All right, next up. Hey, Mike, hope you and your family are well. We need to talk about Elon Musk and what can be done. He was not elected, but yet he's trying to access top secret information. The same Elon who routinely speaks with Putin. What can be done about this? Dave from Dallas. Well, at this point, there's not a lot that can be done with the DOJ and Congress because they're too impotent to do anything, or they're complicit with Donald Trump and they aren't going to do anything. It's kind of what I was talking about before. We have to do whatever we can to try to stop him, discredit him. As I've said, we've got this new Time magazine cover coming out with Elon Musk sitting at the Resolute desk in the Oval Office as if he's the president. And many would say that's probably the case. This is going to piss off Donald Trump. First and foremost, we've got to create that divide between Elon and Donald Trump. Elon's committing a lot of crimes. Donald Trump doesn't keep friends very long. He's letting Elon get away with a lot of shit, but once he gets pissed off at Elon, Donald Trump may even go after Elon. So we've got to cultivate that. We've also got to try to cripple him financially. Tesla's sales are dropping like a rock. X, you got people leaving there by the tens of thousands. He's supposed to be a financial mastermind, but it seems like everything he does is fucking losing money. So we need to impact him there best we can. And as I've said before, the internet is great for canceling motherfuckers. All you have to do is find the negativity, the crimes, the corruption, and expose them and shove this down Elon Musk every day. We've got to discredit Elon Musk. And there's plenty of ammunition to do that. So we as a people out here on social media, we got to start standing up, pushing back, and doing all we can to destroy Elon Musk. He is the imminent danger right now. He is the one we have to be most worried about. So it's our duty as people of social media and the internet to tear him apart like we would tear apart anybody fucking else. All right, the next one says, America, anyone down there ever run a background check on Trump and see his business school diploma? Some businessman, multiple failed businesses, no clue on tariffs, how they work, or who pays them, no clue on trade deficits they represent or how they work. He claims Canada receives a subsidy. Fuck off. Said subsidy is mostly the oil we sell you. Tell you what, close your border, get it alone, and we will sell our LPG and oil elsewhere. The world has changed a lot in the last 50 years since Donnie went to school. Supply chain economics, international electronic exchanges, massive container ships moving trade goods all over the globe, China rising with the new Silk Road, etc. Let Canada be the 51st Street. Go fuck your hat, bud. Who wants to join the clusterfuck Trump is creating? Hey, America, get your shit in order. Until then, stay home. If you want to travel somewhere, Trump is selling Russia or North Korean vacation packages. Just ask for the gold plan. Paul. And Paul, I agree with you there. What's going on in this country is absolutely abhorrent, and we should be ashamed. And we should be ashamed because we're allowing this to happen. We elected this dumb fuck. He's now alienating us from all of our allies and doing everything he can to destroy this country. As a Canadian, I can understand your anger and frustration. We've always been a good trading partner, a good ally, and Donald Trump is doing everything he can to destroy that. I mean, I think people in Canada understand it isn't the vast majority of the people in this country. It is Donald Trump, and they hold him responsible. I think we as Americans and Canadians do get along. The problem is we elected a dumb fuck, and now we have to deal with this bullshit. All right, the next one says, do you know a safe place where we could invest our money? That is, if there is one. I'm not talking about a huge sum. However, it's all I have. At the advice of a coworker, I invested mine with a guy who I just found out is a big Trump supporter. Don't trust him a bit. Really never did. Also found out he's a Baptist evangelical. Too many red flags for me. Thank you, Lana. Yeah, I'll agree with you. I'm going to talk to my financial guy. My wife says, well, don't be too rough on him. I said, I'm not going to be rough on him. He's on our side. But I've got some hard questions. Every Republican we've seen in the last 30 years has crashed the economy. Then you throw Donald Trump into the mix and it's going to get even worse. Why would we invest in anything that has any risk at all? At this point, I'm ready to fucking put it in a pillowcase and put it under my fucking bed. That may be the safest place to put it. I'm not an investment guy. I don't know that kind of stuff. And I have to talk to my investment guy. I can't say what's best to do, but I will tell you this, ask hard questions. If your guy is a Trump supporter and evangelical, that's enough for me to get my money the fuck out of there. If they don't have enough common sense to understand the damage Trump is doing, I'm certainly not going to let them have control over my fucking money. Safe is the key. It may not get a lot of interest, but you won't lose it all between now and 2028, like a lot of people did in 2008. It could be that bad. It could be worse. You know, as somebody who's invested in 401ks and that kind of stuff, you know, you have a bad year and you go, fuck, at least maybe I can recoup it when things straighten out. Well, I'm going to be 65. I don't have that kind of time. I'm not giving away any money, and any investments I have will be as safe as they possibly can be, or they'll be under my fucking bed. Next one says, Mike, I wanted to share this with you. It's from Facebook, but I think it's important to share with your listeners. I I got kicked off Facebook. I don't even know I can look at that. I miss being able to send a link by Facebook Messenger. Is there another way to share things like this with you besides email? I'm a bit of a technical dingbat. Thanks for all you do. Keep us abreast of the news and help us discover ways to fight back. Found the app 5Calls. This might be the link that Kristen was talking about the last time she was on. Great source for scripts and who to call. And they go by zip code. Several topics to choose from. Thanks for helping us keep up the good fight. Judy, Crazy Cat Mom, Portland. I'm not on Facebook right now. I got banned from Facebook. I think I have a personal one, but I don't post on it or anything. And frankly, I'm pretty much fed up with Facebook. Knowing what I know about Mark Zuckerberg and how he's been a toady for Donald Trump, I don't trust him. The amount of meddling that went on during the elections to benefit Donald Trump on Facebook, I don't trust them. I mean, the fact of the matter in this world today, I don't trust too many people. I don't trust banks. I don't trust our own government. I don't trust financial planners. I don't trust a lot of social media. We'll get Kristen back on and we'll talk more about that app. There are plenty of things in social media that are good, that are helpful to us. So we do need to find those outlets. And one of them is here on the Rational Boomer podcast. We're on YouTube. We're under no constrictions or constraints as far as what we do. So we can speak freely here. All right. Next one says, ask your listeners to boycott Elon Musk investments, all found online. Do not buy Teslas. Don't go on Twitter. PayPal or the rest of them, stop using Amazon and stop using Facebook. Hit these guys in the pockets. Maybe they will change their tune. Everything can be found online. We might be helping our country and we'll be helping moms and pops. You are paying for the convenience of many sites, but we may be saving our country, Carol Ann. And she makes a good point. All of those sites go to put money in the pocket of billionaires who don't give a fuck about us, aligning themselves with Donald Trump and hurting us. So I think she makes an excellent point. All right, next one. With the internal mucking the Trump administration has been doing to the FBI, CIA, NIS, HLS, and IRS, I'm pretty sure moral organization is low. Our morale organization is low. Couple that with new management staffed by incompetent leadership, to mention Musk now is a prime time for terrorists, both internal and external. I would agree with you. Elon Musk is a terrorist by no uncertain terms. We heard earlier today that the Department of Homeland Security and Elon Musk seized and locked down the Department of Education. That is a terrorist act. Even members of Congress weren't allowed into the Department of Education. They aren't telling us what they're doing. That seems like the essence of terrorism. The very organization that's supposed to protect us from terrorists, domestic and from overseas, have now become terrorists. That's frustrating. That's scary. But there still is hope. She goes on to say, to review, he has pissed off more than 1/2 U.S. population, traditional U.S. allies, and now the Arabs and probably all of Islam. One bright light is dictators were all in their 30s and 40s when they rose to power. Trump is old as fuck and will soon depart the world. Problem with this is, like everything else in his life, he'll escape and leave the mess for others to clean up. Thanks, Paul. P.S. I wonder how effectively the Secret Service could block a swarm of 100 Ukrainian-style drones coming in on the 9th hole. Just asking. You know what my biggest concern is the Super Bowl. Donald Trump just pissed off all of the Middle East, not to mention all the other countries and people within this country. We've got the biggest media event of the year, and Donald Trump can't help himself. He needs the attention, so he decides to show up. To me, and I'm hopefully wrong about this, that seems like a recipe for fucking disaster. All right, the next one says, hi, Mike, I really enjoy your podcast and your guest. I'm writing to offer a suggestion. You stress the importance of speaking out on issues. One way we do that is by contacting our representatives and senators on issues that concern us. Yesterday, after the podcast about Elon Musk's team that is data mining personal information, I contacted my Congress reps to remind them about congressional oversight. All my reps are Republicans, but they need to know the constituents are paying attention to issues. William, you make a good point, William, and people are reacting. I heard a bit of information how that members of Congress typically would get 40 calls a minute, overall. That number is now at 1,600 a minute. So people are angry. They're calling out, they're reaching out, and it will ultimately have an impact. Excuse me, just still dealing with this cold. All right, the next one said, "Hey Boomer, this was a very important session you guys had. Old Soul hit something which you don't want to believe. The Senate and Congress are obsolete. They don't need laws anymore. Today, Trump said he was ignoring the court's restraining order and spending freeze. We are in a new world here. They are going to do what they want, and a lot of bad things are going to happen. Stop and think and accept the worst is going to happen. The old system is dead. Both parties are in on it. There's nothing to stop them. Time to wake up out there. Nothing is ever going to be the same. Z-Man. Oh, woe is me." See, this is the attitude I don't like. Okay, Z-Man, say that whatever you said is true. Now what? I curl up in a corner and fucking cry? Is that what you're going to do? You know what's going to happen? If we can't count on the government to do anything, there's a friend of mine, Abe, won't be silent. He has a phrase that he uses. Soon we will see the pitchforks and the torches. People won't sit idly by and get their ass kicked and get their money stolen. There will be an uprising of some sort. I don't know what extent and how it will happen, but people will not tolerate this. If we truly cannot trust any part of the government or either side, either party, that's what's going to happen. And it won't be pleasant. It won't be ugly. Now, the fact that we will never be the same, I think that's true. I think that's absolutely true. But as we look at our Congress and we look at our politicians in general, we've been dealing with a pretty fucked up mess for a long time. What Donald Trump has basically done is exposed it to the light. If nothing is the same when this is all said and done, I think that's a good thing. There's a lot of things that need to be cleaned up and improved on in our government. Stuff that just sat there for decades and decades because we've been apathetic. We've got to stop doing that. We've done it long enough. The people of this country need to fight back. I don't think all is lost, Z-Man. And if you do, I don't even know why you're writing me an email. Why don't you go find a bunker someplace and wait for the fucking end? I don't do that. I don't think most people want to do that. We will fight to the end. All right. The next one says, "Hey, Boomer, thanks to you and Old Soul, I learned a new word today. Well, maybe not a new word, but the revival of an old word term describing the ills of Trump's will. Thank you for that. And this link is the post and my repost reaction to it. I really enjoyed the podcast this morning with you and Old Soul. A lot of enlightening information. I never realized exactly what it was that Trump hoped to accomplish with all the squirrely announcements and executive orders. Clear as a bell today. My response, go ahead, Trump, and every Middle Eastern country over there will bomb the shit out of you every time you turn around. America is not equipped. You're going to piss the entire region off, and your association with Benjamin Netanyahu will be moot. How dare you? How dare the Jews go along with exiling people when they are repeating the same offenses that occurred to them? Keep on, and you're going to find out yourself. Without a home, fuck colonizers. I owe it all to you two. Keep lending your voices. Keep waking us up. Love you, Boomer and Old Soul. I'll probably get some kickback, but am so pissed off that I really don't care. Enough is a fucking enough. Mary, you will get no kickback from me. That's exactly the energy I want to see. Somebody pissed off enough to speak their mind and do what they need to do. Mary, you're right on track, and I appreciate that. All right, the next one says, hey, it's Jason, a blue dot from Arkansas. Right now, though, the only thing standing between democracy and dictatorship in America is public opinion, the media, and the Democratic Party. Republicans have completely caved. The courts move too slowly to stop him, and Democrats aren't being forceful enough. We're running out of time. Jason. Yeah, I think the only thing between us and the loss of our democracy is our voices and public opinion. We have to resolve ourselves to the fact that that's what it is. Everything else has failed on us. Everything else has just taken a big shit. We've got to do it, and we can, and we will do it, of course. All right, the next one says, hello, Boomer and our sane community. I'm watching other TikTok live with the crew. I've always enjoyed every one of your podcasts and lives. I want to give a shout out to all of your guests, and especially the board of directors, Eric, TJ, the plumber, Will, Rebecca. I love all of the input and the wise truth they speak. The shows are entertaining and funny. I especially want to say you're an awesome referee on these shows. I've not missed a podcast since you came on board. Thanks for informing us and keeping us sane. While I live in red ass Utah, I need sane voices, and you provide this for me and others to keep it up, and we will win this game. Our government is for the people, by the people. Dirty Diaper Donnie fails, and his kiss ass Republicans will go down the toilet along with his diaper. Thank you, Gordy. Thank you, Gordy. That's the energy. That's the attitude we're looking for. That's the attitude we need. All right, the next one says, hi, Mike, longtime listener, originally found you on Facebook and found your podcast great for my walks. Anyway, do you think Elon stole our data to maybe rig elections in the future? Your thoughts, and thank you from Southern New Jersey, not far from Philly and about an hour to the shore. John. Do I think he stole it to rig elections? No, I don't think he stole it to rig elections. I don't think he gives a fuck about it. He stole the biggest election already. He's already done that. So I think it's about enriching himself and gaining control for himself. That's what it's about. No question. Dear Mike, I was listening to your TikTok live and how you want all of your followers to donate money for the special elections on April 1st. I was wondering how you want me to donate so we can prosecute Trump and Elon in the courts and rail these motherfuckers. Let's make these two assholes' lives a living hell. I can't stand another 4 years of Trump, and I want Elon in jail. Well, a couple things. I'm not telling you to send money to anybody. I will never do that because I don't know where the money's going and how it's going to be used. So I will never say that. What I was suggesting about the Florida elections is that we do have to show some support. It doesn't have to be with money. I mean, you can if you want. I'm not going to send them any money. But what I'm going to do is with the TikToks and the podcast, I'm going to be promoting the fuck out of these two Democratic candidates just to throw a hitch into the Republicans' control of the House. See, that's the point. It's not always about money. It's about whatever you can do, whether it's a little or a lot. To do something is what's most important. As far as sending money to prosecute Elon, won't do any good at this point. As long as Donald Trump controls the DOJ and Congress is complicit, you can send all the money you want. It'll just go in their pockets. In order to see prosecution of the likes of Elon Musk, Donald Trump is going to have to get mad at him and go after him, which is possible. Or we have to wait till Donald Trump is out of power and things start to head back to normal. The only way we can get this prosecution is if we have a decent DOJ and a legal system with integrity. That's the only way we're getting there. So don't worry about sending any money. Just keep the fight up and let's bring this to an end as quickly as fucking possible. Quickly as fucking possible. All right, I'm going to wrap things up for this special extra Rational Boomer podcast. We'll have the other shows as well. So be sure to join us here on the Rational Boomer podcast.